Baker?
Yes.
Mr. Zimmerman, would you like to approach? You have 5 minutes.
I'm here to, I'm not anybody special, I'm just a resident of 80 Antipodes. I'm here to address the issue of the proposed development of 55. I'd like to start by just reviewing what's been happening in the last year or so in some green areas around this district. We've lost about 16 hectares to Sanofi and Rosslord Park for them to build. We've lost about half an acre in Rosslord Park itself for a water park. We've lost the school playground at Exhigham School, which is now going to be a 270-unit residential unit. The school playground at Newtonbrook is being built on. The hydro corridor is being asphalted over for bicycle paths. As far as the open space at 55 Antipodes goes, it acts as a bridge between Antipodes Park and Rosslord Park. It's one of the few remaining open green areas in the district. And if you take it away, I don't understand the logic here, the reasoning. The idea behind building townhouses, as I understand it, is to increase the tax base for the city. You're going to get more money, and you're going to take this money and you're going to use it for the benefit of the residents, presumably to build more parks and open spaces, because you've already got an open space. So what is the purpose behind taking away more green space to build townhouses? And townhouses, you should look at these townhouses. Some of them are 4.5 stories high. That's some townhouse. To me, it's like saying to a sick person, I'm going to give you money to buy medication, but I'm going to cut off your air supply. What's the logic of that? There are around 2,000 residences that open onto Antipodes Drive, which is one lane in each direction. You're proposing to increase that by 10%. I suggest that that's probably one of the highest density to road area ratios in Toronto, and you want to increase it. Bear in mind there's a 270-unit residence going up just 50 metres north from the Bathurst Antipodes Junction. If this council is supposed to be operating for our benefit, for the benefit of the residents, I can't understand the logic of taking away green space to build more townhouses in an already dense area. If you were chunky, would you prefer to have more money to buy medicine, or would you prefer to have air? We need air to breathe. We need open spaces to walk in. This is the last remaining large open space in the area. And I don't understand what the purpose of this application is. Why would you want to change the zoning from an open area to buildings? Are you here for the benefit of the developers, or are you here for the benefit of the residents? Thank you.
Jessie Silver?
She left.
Daisy Stone?
That's you?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak. I've been living in
That microphone.
Hi. I've been living in this neighborhood for the last 35 years.
Slower.
I thought I was talking to the microphone. Now, better? I'm talking to you. I've been living in the area for the last 35 years, and I really would like it to stay as Greenland like we have it now, because like we have enough people living in the area, and like we're going to destroy what we have going already, and I'd like to leave it as is possible. Thank you.
Galina Tabachnik?
Who?
Galina?
She left.
No, not yet. Ruth Lockshin?
How do you do? I represent the board of directors for the condominium that's down the road a piece from 55 Antipodes, from the proposed 55 Antipodes. My name is Ruth Lockshin. We oppose the approval of the bylaw. We think that there was insufficient community information. The meeting was held on March 28th, in which we were told that the staff would address infrastructure, environmental, zoning, and other matters related to this development. This did not happen. The meeting was a Mackey's Dog and Pony show. It was chaired by a lawyer with the only microphone in the room. He represented the developer and had all of the characteristics of a sales presentation, none of the characteristics of an information exchange. We really need an information exchange. We need to discuss traffic, schooling, infrastructure, the kind of green space that we're talking about that David Zimmerman mentioned before is not just so we can go out and get a breath of fresh air. There has been flooding in our area. We're close to the G. Ross Lord Reservoir, and everything is all interconnected. And if these issues are not addressed, basements flood in our neighborhood. When a basement floods in a neighborhood the density of ours, it affects everyone. It affects our property values. These concerns must be dealt with before a vote can proceed. The second concern that we all have is traffic. The study seems to indicate that traffic will not be adversely, the studies that the developer cited say that traffic will not be adversely impacted. And we just can't understand that because they must be looking at an extremely small picture of it because we know that there's construction all the way, the construction of the Lubbock JCC campus in the New York region is even affecting our area. So a comprehensive traffic study is required that's run by the city or an independent organization that addresses the larger area that we're part of. Perhaps the developers could consider getting together with a committee from the area to negotiate our concerns. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes?
a couple questions for the deputy.
Okay, go ahead.
Once again, thank you very much for coming down and thank you for your patience. You mentioned that you feel you need more information, more community consultation.
Well, we would like to have more input. We did, last time we just were talked to. We would like to be able to respond.
So you want more information from
I did say
the city?
information. I said input.
From the city?
From the, it would be good if we could have all three groups meet together, all right? You, counselor, and us, and developer.
Right.
We could sit down head to head to head.
Well, I'm planning on moving up.
There are gonna have to be compromises, and I,
Right.
you know,
No,
everybody could be heard.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I thank you for your suggestions. I've got a motion that I'm going to be bringing forward shortly that would bind us to more community consultation, and in the evening on a weekday when it's a little more convenient for people.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Edward Zaretsky?
Madam Chair, before I start this conversation, we are the only people that have been timed. Nobody's been timed before. We gave the courtesy to council to listen to them when they were speaking. I would respect that they give us their respect to listen to us. Council's been talking while these people are giving their presentations, and I don't know if they even heard what they were saying.
Okay.
So I respect the council to listen to us like we listen to them. And I don't appreciate being timed because we are the only group today that have been timed. Nobody else.
Go ahead,
So I
sir.
want the time off the wall, please.
Nope.
My name is Edward Zaretsky, and I represent the Citizens Alliance Group. A little history on this application. The citizens of this viable community were never told by then the Toronto District School Board trustee, and now it's Councilor James Pasternak, that the said property of 55 Antiques Drive was going to be sold to the former developer and now the current developer. The entire transaction was held behind closed doors with no minutes taken on its presentation and voting. This indicates that there was no transparency. And on that premise alone, this application for rezoning should be rejected. Back in December of 2010, a meeting was held that I arranged with Councilor James Pasternak and others that nothing would be done until there was a town hall meeting with the residents of Ward 10 and especially those living in the community known as Antiques Drive. The meeting was held and would tell the residents what the city was proposing and show them all the information needed to make the right decision. The meeting was held by the councillor and the planning department. Said meeting was held, and after a few minutes was turned over to the developer's solicitor as they had nothing prepared. This is very important meeting was held by a councillor with little or no experience in these matters. The meeting was a sham, and Councillor Pasternak and others more prepared meeting would be held before anything else was done, and that was in March of 2011. After continuous effort, no meeting was ever held until this date for an application to change the rezoning. If you allow this to happen, you have endangered the community for the benefit of the developer, and this is a grave mistake. The people of this community have the right to be properly represented, and this is not the way to have it done. I wrote in and I mentioned that I wanted to be a speaker, but it wasn't on your list. Another mistake to do with the councillor, and I don't appreciate that either. Everybody got a letter in the community, but I didn't get a letter because I opposed him on this matter. When this is completed, there will be inefficient movement of vehicles. While building the congestion will be too much for the residents to bear with. There will be not enough school classrooms, and students will have to be bussed out. Sewage and all other major problems. Hospital facilities will be inefficient. Traffic will be horrendous. Seniors have difficulty in walking due to the heavy traffic. Green space gone. When we were protesting the passage of the amendment for the following reason, there was a meeting held March of 2011, and this developer, held by Councillor James Pasternak and city planners, was a total sham. If you want to have proper representation for the people who pay for it, then you should listen to us. You are not there to make rules that we can't live with. Have you ever lived on that street? You haven't. It's a 2-lane road, and you can't possibly put in 200 units with 300 more cars and 400 more students to go to school. It's impossible. Are you being paid off by the developer? I want to know, and I want a total investigation into the total financing of this, and I think a forensic accountant should be brought into this situation.
Thank you. The next speaker.
No, Madam Chair, I think the comments made by the deputy gentleman were disgraceful.
And which way, Mr.
Mr.
Pasternak?
Has received
Councillor
numerous lawyers'
Pasternak,
letters.
Councillor Pasternak, you don't have leave to speak. One moment, please. Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Councillor Parker?
Thank you. No, Madam Chair, as a matter of fact, I can question that.
One moment, please. Councillor?
Thank you. I don't want to question the deputy because I don't want to pursue the discussion, but I do feel that I've got to make the point that we can't talk about one another this way. I recognize that emotions run deep on matters of this type, but to make allegations of motive without evidence to support it, that's a very serious road to go down, and I would urge that none of us do that. Much of what frustrates all of us with these matters have to do with rules and procedures. They don't have to do with intervention by individuals, and to suggest that individuals have intervened to promote a particular result at this stage of the game is something that we should be very careful about making allegations about. Let me put it this way. I'm sitting here listening to the residents of the community tell me what their concerns are with the application that is before us. If I'm convinced that it's just a personal grudge match